韩国总统李在明上任后，一些反思和举措让人耳目一新。印象最深刻的有2件。第一件，他对韩国的反华集会的态度。以前的韩国总统或者默许甚至怂恿，但李在明旗帜鲜明，强烈谴责。他说，如果我去到某个国家被指指点点，那我想我不会再去了，还会到处宣传不要去那个国家。在他看来，是故意那样做，侮辱特定国家游客，使双边关系恶化。针对所谓的言论自由推辞，李在明毫不客气，一针见血，这算什么言论自由？简直是在闹事。第2件，他对韩国游戏产业的态度。在日前出席 K 游戏现场座谈会，李在明态度也很明确，甚至可以说一锤定音，游戏不是成瘾物质，而是文化产业的核心组成部分。这件事我想重点说一下，我们也不用回避。我们每个人都玩过游戏，但游戏名声不是太好，有人爱也有人恨。在韩国，政府一度将游戏列入4大成瘾物质之一，结果呢？用李在明的话说，这种管理方式严重抑制了韩国游戏产业的发展活力，并间接导致中国在该领域实现反超。以前中国游戏不如韩国，现在中国已反超韩国，所以作为韩国总统，他看到了危机，必须正本清源。我们不能因为少数人存在问题，就否定整个行业的价值。价值在哪里？数据很直接，游戏已成为韩国文化产业的重要支柱。以《绝地求生》为例，其1年的销售额高达 2.7 万亿韩元。要知道，这个游戏的核心开发团队只有几百人，人均创造了几千万人民币的产值，充分体现了游戏高附加值的特点。李在明就指出，在资源有限、高度依赖出口的国情下，游戏作为文化产品出口的主力，对提升韩国竞争力和促进青年高质量就业方面具有不可替代的作用。请注意，不可替代，也就是说，游戏产业将成为韩国的文化经济的新引擎。李在明设定了一个宏伟的蓝图，即未来要通过税收优惠、海外市场拓展支持以及人才培育等措施，助力韩国成为继中美之后的世界第3大游戏强国。李在明在反思，韩国在行动，我们怎么看？还是聊聊3点吧。第一，我们必须看到，游戏真不是洪水猛兽。经济学人文章就曾指出，全球10大最有价值的科技公司中有7家与游戏密切有关。一些科技界的翘楚大拿，比如乔布斯、比尔盖茨、马斯克等等，当年都曾从游戏中得到启发。可以说，技术是普罗米修斯之火，游戏恰是那点燃火种的碎石之一。追根溯源一下，我们会发现，从起源到发展，游戏就和科技密不可分。要知道，当年人类的第1行游戏规则代码就是用来验证计算机的思维能力。2013年诺贝尔化学奖得主、美国斯坦福大学教授迈克尔·莱维特就曾公开表示，为什么今天我们有这么强大的计算机？为什么计算机现在这么快？其中一个很重要的原因是家用电脑的诞生，另外一个原因是年轻人玩电子游戏。如果没有电子游戏，我们就不会有机器学习，不会有人工智能。我们今天很关注的芯片，正是全球亿万玩家才使芯片有了极大的市场，也更直接接触到了更多的技术需求，然后突破有了更大可能。游戏不是洪水猛兽，这一点毋庸置疑。第二，我们必须清醒，高度重视游戏存在的问题，我们也不用回避。在一些社会游戏确实会让一些人上瘾，让很多家长为之焦虑，怎么办？那就必须有针对性的加以解决，关键是要管好。从政府的角度看，对一些低下的、劣质的、无良的游戏必须坚决说不。从游戏开发者的角度，要注意游戏的时间。非常重要的一点，对未成年人玩游戏必须要有严格的限制。必须看到，在游戏未成年人保护方面，中国应该已走在世界前列。看相关报道，2024年超70%未成年人每周游戏时长都在3小时以内，超80%未成年人玩家不充值或月充值低于30元，多数未成年人已逐步养成健康游戏习惯，这是一个好的迹象。这也不是不让孩子们玩，我们小时候也都想玩，而是就像喝酒一样，孩子们毕竟还没有自控能力，那就要多关心他们，多保护他们，限制性的保护才是真正为孩子们好。第三，我们更要努力，游戏不能只是玩玩而已。我们需要什么样的游戏？我说的肯定是高级的，让人眼前一亮的，甚至让全世界感受到中国创新的游戏，比如黑神话悟空。中国需要更多这样的游戏，既赚全世界的钱，也展现了中国的文化魅力，顺带的还带火了山西旅游。人们对游戏有看法，有时不是对游戏有偏见，而是你的游戏太糟糕，一点技术和文化含量都没有。文化是游戏的灵魂，技术是游戏的骨骼，二者缺一不可，方能成就一部传世之作。 从这个角度看，李在明的反思也给我们新的启发。游戏是软实力，也是生产力，我们不能因噎废食，关键是要管好、发展好，让游戏产生更大的价值，商业价值加科技价值加文化价值。事实上，韩国在反思，其他国家也在行动。2022年，欧洲议会就通过决议，要发力发展电竞业。2027年，沙特还要举行首届电竞奥运会，国际奥委会主席巴赫就感叹，现在有了一条非常明确的通往首届奥林匹克电子竞技运动会的路线图。韩国人更雄心勃勃。在李在明总统看来，世界游戏市场，美国和中国现在领先，韩国要迎头赶上，争取三足鼎立。那对中国来说，那我们更要努力。韩国都在发力，我们除了向上提升，别无选择。
To the protests.
Who are you with?
I'm with AP.
With AP?
What's your response to the protests over the weekend, the doping protests?
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was, but checking it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective. And the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Mr. President, besides the
And by the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Besides San Francisco, are there other cities you're actively looking at in the National Guard right now?
Yeah. What about it?
I'm just wondering if you could comment on that.
Well, we've used the National Guard to be very successful at Memphis. You can see the numbers are falling like rocks. Washington, D.C., Chicago is getting better, even though we're going through a lot. And, you know, we're trying to do it in a very nice way. I've allowed, as you know, as president, like 50% of the presidents have used the Insurrection Act. You use that. Everybody agrees you're allowed to use that. And there's no more court cases. There's no more anything. We're trying to do it in a nicer manner. But we can always use the Insurrection Act if we want. I mean, you take a look, in the past, one in particular president used it 28 times during the course of our presidency. So we're allowed to do that. We thought we could do it in a very nice way. All we want to do is have safe cities. We're not looking for anything that would be spectacular other than crime-free become spectacular. We want to have great crime-free cities. So I'd be allowed to use, if I wanted, the Insurrection Act, and then all of this nonsense would go away. You have the absolute right. It's the strongest power a president has. And you have the absolute right to do it. If we wanted to go this route, but we get sued every time you look at somebody. You look at somebody the wrong way and you end up getting sued. We just want no crime. We want to have crime-free cities. That's not a big, I mean, it's pretty common sense, I think, but that's all I want is crime-free cities. I campaigned on it. It's become, I think, even more successful than we thought because of the tremendous success that we had literally in 12 days in Washington, D.C., and it continues. But Washington, D.C., we're so proud of it. People are eating in their restaurants. Restaurants are opening. All the stores and restaurants were closed. You couldn't walk down the street without being mugged or worse. And now it's a safe city. I mean, it's considered a very safe city. And it's safe because we took 1,700 people out of there and brought them back to where they came from. Yeah.
You said you're going to South Korea. That's you meet with China.
I am.
Can you tell us more about your goals for your trip to Asia? Where else you may be going?
We have a very good relationship with China. We're having disputes on things, and they're paying us a lot of money, tremendous amount of money in tariffs, and they'd probably like to have it be less, and we'll work on that, but they have to give us some things too. Right now, China's paying a tremendous amount of money in tariffs, like they've never paid before. You know, they paid a lot during my first administration, my first term. Now they're paying an unbelievable amount of money to the United States. They probably can't pay that much. And I'm okay with that. We can lower that, but they have to do things for us too. It's no longer a one-way street.
Yeah. What would you lower it to, do you think?
Eventually, we'll have to see what they want. One of the penalties we have is because they're sending in fentanyl, we have a 20%, as you know, a 20% tariff on that. But they'd be paying about 157% tariff, which is, you know, record-setting type tariff. I don't want them to do that. I want to help China. I'm not going to hurt China. But they have to give us things.
Sitting with China, Mr. President, on soybeans, are you confident that you'll
I want them to buy soybeans. One of the things I want is China's going to buy soybeans. I want China to stop with the fentanyl. Very, you know, normal things. I don't want them to play the rare earth game with us.
But you want them to, but do you think they will make a deal in soybeans?
I do believe, yeah, because otherwise I'm not going to make a deal. No, I want them to buy. Our farmers have been boycotted by China as a negotiating point. I don't want that. Our farmers are great, and in particular our soybean farmers. And I want them to start buying soybeans at least at the amount that they were buying before. And I believe they'll be able to.
But sticking with soybeans and Argentina, you're looking to do that deal with Argentina, the deal swap. So,
With respect to beef?
are we expecting a
No,
big deal?
I assume you're talking about beef. Yeah.
No,
To get beef prices down. The only price we have that's high is beef, and we'll get that down. And one of the things we're thinking about doing is beef from Argentina.
But my question is, what do you have to say to U.S. farmers who feel that the deal is benefiting Argentina more than it is them, as they are a top
Argentina's
partner?
fighting for its life, young lady. You don't know anything about it. They're fighting for their life. Nothing's benefiting Argentina. They're fighting for their life. You understand what that means? They have no money. They have no anything. They're fighting so hard to survive. If I can help them survive in a free world, I happen to like the president of Argentina. I think he's trying to do the best he can, but don't make it sound like they're doing great. They are dying. All right? They're dying.
What do you mean by a beef deal, sir?
We would buy some beef from Argentina. If we do that, that will bring our beef prices down. Because our groceries are down, our energy prices are down. I think we're going to have $2 gasoline pretty soon. We're getting close. Everything's down. The one thing that's kept up is beef. And if we buy some beef, I'm not talking about that much from Argentina, that would help Argentina, which we consider a very good country, a very good ally in a place. Although I must tell you, if you take a look now, South America's turning. Those South American countries are starting to turn very much toward us.
And for
They're
US
getting
farmers,
away from socialism, and you can go right down the pack. But they are starting to turn. It's pretty amazing.
May I ask you about Israel again? Do you feel that Israel was justified with striking when it did
Striking where?
in Gaza today and overnight?
I'd have to get back to you on that. I'd have to get back.
What is the next step?
Because we're going to be disturbed. All of that's is under consideration right now. It's under review.
Mr. President, on Harvard.
Who are you with?
I'm with the Washington Post.
That's what I do.
On Harvard, you said the other week that you had reached a deal, but we haven't heard anything. What's the holdup?
Well, we reached a concept of a deal, but it's pretty complicated because under this deal would be $500 million. They can open up trade schools. And I love the idea of trade and trade schools by Harvard. So, they get into like a vocational type school. And the one problem with it, it's very complicated. When do they start? How do they start? Who do they use? There's 1,000 different things. We may just charge them a fine, big fine, $500 million fine.
Mr. President,
And they won't do it again. And if they do, we'll have to just charge them another fine.
you haven't weighed in on the Virginia gubernatorial race that's in a few weeks. Do you plan to endorse the lieutenant
Well,
governor?
I think the Republican candidate is very good, and I think she should win because the Democrat candidate's a disaster. So I haven't been too much involved in Virginia. I love the state. I did very well in the state. But I will tell you, I think the Republican candidate is excellent, and I think the Democrat candidate is a disaster.
So
I watched her in the debate. She couldn't answer the most basic question. And a big thing with that race and also the race in New Jersey is going to be energy. Both of the Democrats are going to drive the energy prices through the roof. Through the roof. Your energy is going to double and triple. If the Republican gets elected, your energy is going to be coming down by 70, 80%. Thank you very much, everybody. Vote
Thank you, sir.
Republican.
Should your